Will they kill me, do you think?
Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Leggett here representing Team JVS. I am back here again for another movie review. I was graced with the opportunity of being able to check out the movie Spencer. This is a monumental film, it's a fantastical kind of story, but it also accounts to a moment where, you know, the Princess of Wales, Princess Diana herself, played by Kristen Stewart, is going to a location in, I think it's Sandringham, which is in Norfolk, England, to meet up with the Queen and the rest of the family, and where her husband is, Prince Charles, and she has a difference of opinion about her marriage at this point. And the thing about this film is that what I can say off gate is that I really truly didn't understand the depths of the profile of Princess Diana. Like, I knew of the tragedy of what happened in 1997 in the car crash. I knew that everybody looked at her with such glamour and vigor. Like, matter of fact, in all honesty, full transparency, like, it's almost as though, like, she is going to, you know, be this huge deal much later, and then it just her tragically taken, and her sons, Harry and William, were left behind without their mother, and then things went from that point. But this film I gotta talk about because Pablo Larraín is directing this. He also directed Jackie. But then the interesting thing is that Stephen Knight wrote this. He also wrote the movie Locke. Now, I haven't seen Jackie, but I have seen Locke, and I thought that was fantastic. Great acting from your boy. But the thing I'll say off rip, this is our second review, so you can go and check out Lucas's review, because he got to watch this at Middleburg, Virginia, and he has his full unbiased and non-spoiler review up right now, so you can go and check that out immediately. Now, what did I think about this film? The first thing that everybody's going to always ask is, did Kristen Stewart do an amazing job? I did not understand the levels of how good she did until after the movie was over with. Now, the whole entire movie, you know, she is very manic. Like, she seems desperate. She seems irritated. It seems as though she's dealing with some psychological issues. It seems as though I was like, but no, this girl that everybody like laid on this platform, like, is this just over exaggeration? Is this a moment because of the stress? You know, because the whole entire time, like, different characters she was coming in contact with, whether it's like Timothy Spall's character, who's kind of the overseer, the guard, whatnot, whether it was the cook and Sean Harris. Sean Harris actually does a really good job in this one. Or even her conversations with an actress I really love in Sally Hawkins, because I think she did an amazing job in her Oscar-nominated film, which was, did she win that Oscar? I don't think she won that one. But that was for The Shape of Water, and I thought she did was amazing. I'll talk about her in a little bit. But the whole entire time, like, it's just with every interaction she's with, it's almost as though she's rebellious. She's outspokenly doing things just to garner attention. It's almost like a cry for help kind of situation. And I was like, is that really who Diana is? And so after the movie was over with, I go through and I look from the point when she was born in 1975 all the way to the point she died, and got an understanding. I even went and did listened to an interview of somebody diagnosing some of the psychological things that she was actually going with, not just bulimia, but other things. And I was like, if that all is fit into the profile of what Diana is and who she is and cemented on this fantastical level, Kristen Stewart nails it. Period. Like, it was kind of like, I knew that there was a lot going on, and I was like, but is she playing this to the person? Because basically, up until a certain point, which I don't want to spoil from the movie standpoint or from the story standpoint, unless you already know, you know, things do get progressively better for her mentally, emotionally, psychologically. But I didn't understand what was really going on. And even with the pressure and the buildup and the tension, you can kind of feel it. Whether it was the score that was kind of like allowing certain, like, something's getting wound up, or like some of the imagery. There's a scene that happens at a dinner table where Diana's got these pearls. Like, I was like, what am I watching right now? And there's moments like that. There's a scene where Kristen Stewart goes to this mirror, right? And she's got these wire cutters. And I was just like, it feels so tonally dark and very intentional. And I was all the way there for that. I just didn't know how much of that was over dramatizing it from a Hollywood perception or if it was this. And now that I know that this is very reminiscent of where she was psychologically, I can really truly appreciate Stewart's performance in this. I thought she was amazing. The setting of this, it feels very the essence of England, like in terms of the lighting, in terms of like every outside shot, is filmed very specifically and very intentionally. It feels like this old feel to it. Even some of the flashback sequence, it feels the same exact way. I think that I normally don't talk about this, but the costume design and the set design and a lot of the dresses and the way that everybody was maneuvering, I was like, this feels like the royal family. This feels like this is who they really are on the inside and out. But I can't, I can't gauge, how people actually really are unless you actually know them. And unfortunately, the passing of this amazing individual has garnered this situation that we're in right now and me talking about this, which to my great surprise, I actually was truly astounded by the levels of commitment they kind of went to, because there was certain moments where, there was a moment where the role of Prince Charles was played by what is his name? Jack Farthling. And I was like, he feels like an antagonist, but then at the same time, it feels like he's just really playing his role in this. And then there's times where the Queen was played by Stella Gaunt. She seemed as though she was allowing or fine with what Diana was doing. And it just was really, there's a lot of things that you kind of had to understand the character profiles. Like everything you assume is really happening, it's actually other things going on, layers behind it. So they allow certain characters to have exposition and direction to why they're interacting with Diane in the way that they are in this specific moment. And Timothy Spall's character, I was like, man, he just seems so skeevy and this, that, and that. But then I was like, by the time the movie was over, I was like, oh, I really didn't understand his character at all. And it was very fascinating to see how serious of a situation being in the royal family really truly is. Because the funny thing is, Sally Hawkins, I don't know if it's just her emotive expression or her acting prowess or just her. I was like, there were moments where her and Stewart's chemistry was just off the charts. And I was just like, what am I watching here? But even deeper than that, I was like, I was to the point that I was like, you know what? She honestly could have played Diana, like in a different point of her life. And it's just fascinating to me see how such an amazing actress put into this and how it also complements every single scene that Stewart is actually in. I really did truly enjoy every scene that they were in together, and also the essence and the specific behind the character Maggie to Diana in the confines of this situation. Also, I think the child actors that played the role of Harry and William did a really good job, because a lot of the time they were hip to what their mother was dealing with. And it was just very fascinating to see how it goes. Now, as far as the story and everything that was happening, in hindsight, after going and seeing the movie and then going and getting researching, it is very dark. It is very bleak. There's not any positive side to it. Matter of fact, I felt this level of like sadness and depression lingering after the film was over with. So make sure, after you get done watching this and appreciating it for the filmmaking and cinematic that it actually is, that you take some time to kind of just rest your spirit, because it was a lot. It was a really lot to just take in and just accept. But I did appreciate the ride that I was given. I did appreciate every specific moment where Stewart is just nailing scenes. But even more identifiable is the fact that it garnered me to want to know Diana more, because I was like, why is this person acting this way? Why is this person allowing this to happen? Why are they doing it this way? You know, why do they seem like such a child? What stress would allow them to do this? Because there's a scene that happens between Diana and Charles at a pool table, and the blocking for the scene is set up so perfectly. And when you think that Stewart is just going to overact and do this or do that, she doesn't, and she holds it all in frustration. And I was like, okay, now I see what's really going on. And the funny thing is, like, if it was too Hollywooded up, it would have went a different route. But instead, they were like, no, we're gonna play it this way. And I really appreciated moments like that, where the buildup was happening, but they didn't just overly put it one way. Now, from an excitement standpoint, maybe that might not be for everybody. Some people might be like, oh, well, I wish you would have just went and pushed it over the edge. I wish you would have just said, you know, just go all the way for it and give us all the imagery you can. But I really did appreciate the direction and the story that they were trying to tell from this perspective, even if this was real or fictional based story, much like One Night with Miami, One Night in Miami. In terms of like a fantastical element of a situation, because the story is very bleak, it is very serious, and also the person is very influential and very important. But it was just the understanding of the psychological profile of what's happening and the dissection of it is very fascinating. Is very interesting cinematic filmmaking that I personally truly did appreciate, and I hope that you go and get a chance to actually watch it. Do I think that Stewart has a chance to get a nomination? Absolutely. I think that she will definitely be nominated. There is a lot of stiff competition out there. If you have not seen the movie called The Novice, that actress in that one, she's definitely going to be nominated. It's going to be an interesting competition back and forth. And just it's a lot. It's a stat competition, but I will say that this was a very good film. I'd rate this at a 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I'm rating a little lower than I would is just the after effect of it and the resolve. Like the third act, it kind of just ends and then resolves itself, and I still was lingered with all this unbridled attention and feeling, where I was like, okay, a little bit of like exposition or a little bit of like telling of where the character goes, or even just a more of a, you know, instead of just a moment, like just going through I actually would have appreciated the whole autobiography, kind of normal base film from Stewart in this character. And maybe, I mean, I don't know, but let me know what you guys think of Spencer. If you don't know what Spencer actually means, it is, you know, the Princess of Wales' actual maiden name. But I'll talk to you guys later. Keep it locked. JVS Wing will stop. Peace, guys.